What's your perspective on? This is Marvel. He's a cute guy that likes running around. Do you have perspective like Marvel? Here, there, up, everywhere, and you're hopping away the next moment?
Let's first look at 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 16. It says, "Therefore we do not lose heart, even though our outward man is perishing, yet the inward man is being renewed day by day." In this verse, it's saying, even if we have trials, they seem, they're hard at the moment, but they're renewing us day by day. And I like 1 Peter 4, verse 12, it goes along with this. It says, "Beloved, do not think it strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened to you. But rejoice to the extent that you partake of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory is revealed, that you also may be glad with exceeding joy." And so these trials that God allows, they actually help us to be more like him. And also it says the inward man is being renewed day by day. And we need to make that day by day decision to be renewed with Jesus and study our Bible and make that connection again every single day.
Now, verse 17, the next verse, is one of my favorite verses in the whole Bible, and it says, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, works for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory." And I love this verse because it really kind of paints a word picture and explains what it's really like. It calls our affliction light, which we think our affliction is a lot of times really heavy, but it calls our affliction light, and it says it's just but for a moment. Rachel, do you have a verse about some of the afflictions that Paul experienced? Because we know he was the one who wrote this, but he was writing this from the perspective of someone who had experienced that and lived through it, but he still called it light.
Yeah, Paul went through a lot of things, but in 2 Corinthians 4, starting in verse 8, he says, "We are hard pressed on every side, yet not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Struck down, but not destroyed." He was able to see that he was going through these trials, but they were helping him to be a better person, and they did not destroy him. They just helped him.
Exactly. And the second part of that verse says that light affliction is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. And I love how it says eternal weight of glory, because that's really descriptive. It calls it an eternal weight of glory. Eternal because we might not see it until eternity in heaven. And weight of glory, it's a weight because it's really big. This is bigger than we can even see or comprehend. God is doing big things, amazing things for us that really affect the whole universe, and we with our limited eyesight can't see that. And then eternal weight of glory, it's glory though, because he's working all things for our good and for his glory, and it's really amazing. The things we can't see are really amazing. Okay, Oceana, tell us about verse 18.
Verse 18 of 2 Corinthians chapter 4 says this, "While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal." Now that's a tongue twister in itself right there. But what I get from it is things like Marvel. So take Marvel for chance. Oh, you're cute. So Marvel here is seen for sure. But if I told you, Eden, that there was a bunny here and he was not here, you'd probably think I was crazy because you can't see a bunny. But since he's here, tangible, it's easy to believe that he's here. It's like faith. If you turn to Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, it says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen." A lot of people have a hard time with faith because you can't see. If I told you there's a giraffe here, you probably wouldn't believe me. But the Bible says that faith is a thing and that we can't see it, but we have to believe that it's there if we give our heart to Christ. I've said this quote a few times, but I think it's so relevant. It says, "I've been shown that in the future we shall see how closely our trials were connected with our salvation, and how these great afflictions, like Paul said, are worked out for us a far more exceedingly than the weight of eternal glory." So We have to believe that those things which we cannot see, God's using them for our behalf, for glory.
And remember that even though we're having these trials, like 2 Corinthians 4:8 and 9 says, we are not cast down and we are not destroyed, and it's just for a moment.
Yes, and those things which we can't see are more important, like our relationship with God and like our character. And in the world, a lot of times it's easy to focus on the things that we can see, the things that are around us, like other people. That's a big thing. We focus way too much on other people around us. But the things which are important are like our relationship with God, which we can't see, but that's what is eternal. And the people around us are just temporal. And people change their minds so much, and people change like their values so much, and that's why it's important not to look at those people.
That's true. God never changes, and so we gotta trust that He's working on our behalf with things that we can't see, and we have to trust Him in that.
So remember, this trial is but for a moment, and it's working for an exceedingly greater thing in heaven. And even in this trial, you are not crushed and cast down. I'm Rachel.
I'm Oceana, and this is Marble.
And I'm Eden.
And thank you for joining us again at Here I Am Simi 360.
Okay.
If he's over here.
I think if I only hold the two, he can't kick me.
No, yeah.
Marble.